We are back for our second segment. Like we said, we're going to go talk about week 16 and 17 in the NFL. Talk about who we think is going to get in the playoffs in each conference. And matchups we're going to look at. And then we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and the Saints game from today. So I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Who do you have getting in the NFC and the AFC, and what rank do you have them in?
Okay. All right. Well, obviously the Falcons have locked up the #1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're watching the Monday night game right now, and I've actually got San Francisco winning this, but it's Seattle.
It's not looking like it, man.
Seattle's on top right now, but I don't think that's not so much determining San Francisco's seed in the playoffs. So I got them at a #2. I got Chicago squeaking in. They've been struggling down the stretch, but I got them squeaking in. Playing against Green Bay. Chicago will be the 6th seed, Green Bay will be the 3rd seed, and then I got Seattle at 5 and Dallas at 4.
4? Okay.
So that's my NFC. AFC, Denver's 1, Houston's 2, Cincinnati's 6, Baltimore's 3, Indianapolis is 5, and New England's 4.
Okay.
So what you got going on?
AFC, I'm a little bit different. I got Houston being #1.
Okay.
I think they got that one locked down. Denver's gonna get.
They struggled today though.
They did. Do
you think you feel like they got something to play for? Do you think?
I feel like after how embarrassed they got today,
yeah,
that they're gonna come out and show everybody in week 17 that they can still play. They're not just coasting to the end.
Okay.
2nd seed, I got Denver getting in. Peyton Manning's just been tearing it up lately. 3rd seed, I got New England. 4 is Baltimore. Baltimore looked very good today.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5th seed, I got Indianapolis playing against Baltimore. And then 6th seed, I got Cincinnati getting in there and playing New England.
Okay.
And then the NFC, I got, like Caleb was saying, Atlanta locking down #1 seed, looking pretty good. My 2nd seed, I got Green Bay getting in because I have Seattle winning tonight against the 49ers.
They're up 14-0 right now.
Yeah, looking pretty good. So there's the 2nd seed, and then I got the 3rd seed is being San Francisco. 4 is Dallas. 5 is Seattle playing against Dallas, and then the 6th seed is Chicago. I think they're gonna get in there. They're gonna play for San Francisco, so I don't know how long they'll last in the playoffs.
So we're a little different, I guess, with our 2nd seed in the NFC and our 6 and 3, 1 and 2. We're basically different. Everything in the AFC.
A little bit, yeah.
But I guess we'll talk any football, anything about any football teams on this show. But one team in particular that we're really passionate about is the Dallas Cowboys, and I guess that's all that I'm really focused about right now is next week's game against Washington. And even though we lost today, we still. Determine our own destiny.
Yeah,
if we win next week, we're in.
Whether we lost or won today, it didn't really matter. It's coming down to next week's game against the Washington Redskins to see who wins the division.
How do you think that's going to play out? D. Ware went down today. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with him. But
like you said, DeMarcus Ware is a big loss. Anytime you lose a big pass rusher like that, your defense is going to take a hit. I feel like our defense is taking a hit every game of every game this season. So, but we're doing that makeshift defense kind of stuff, and somehow playing decent enough to be able to get wins.
Yeah. I was worried, like I told you, I was worried about Drew Brees all along, and Saints offense, don't let their record of 7-8 fool you. That offense is a championship offense.
They can still do it, man.
And
it's ridiculous. You know, you try to stop Colston on the outside, and they dump it down to.
And Darren Sproles killed us.
There are 3 running backs, and you got Jimmy Graham going over the middle. It's you try to stop one thing, and then somebody else comes and hits you.
I was so mad during the game. I said he's the little midget that I just want to kill.
Yeah.
Because he's just. Darren Sproles, I felt like he was all over the place on the field.
It felt like he was, he's just returning kicks, catching balls 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and running for, 10, 15, and he gashed us one time for, I think, a 40, 50 yard, catch and run.
At the end of the half.
And it's, like you're saying, that offense can play with anybody, no matter what defense you put out there against them, just because Drew Brees he's that ultimate quarterback. He's a true student of the game.
Mm-hmm.
He goes in the film every week and he just does his job as a pressure quarterback and studying defenses and picking apart what their weaknesses are. And it's pretty crazy how good they are on offense. And they're not too bad on defense either. They played pretty well on defense today.
Yeah.
Cowboys had a couple of big plays against them. But
what I like to see was, you could really tell that our defense was hurting with the starters being out. But, we were down by 14 points with 6 minutes left on the clock, and to see Tony drive him down and at least put him in a position to win the game, that was encouraging to see. The only thing I'm worried about next week is that defense once again. I didn't watch the Washington game today, but from all the highlights I saw, RG3 wasn't running.
No.
So he wasn't playing his game that he normally plays. But I am worried about our defense. I am worried about DeMarcus Ware. He strained his shoulder again, so we're gonna have to see if he's gonna be able to go next week. But regardless of that thing, I think I'm picking with my heart, Dallas to win. But I do think we can pull it out. I've seen some good things from the offense from DeMarco Murray, and I think we can get a W next week. But we'll have to see.
Yeah. I agree. I have to agree with you on that one. Of course, I'm gonna be a homer and pick the boys to pull it out next week. But I think I don't know. Just RG3. You never know with that kid. He's having an LCL sprain, and the dude stirs out there and has a pretty good game today.
Yeah.
I think he threw 2 touchdown passes. I think he threw 1 interception.
He threw a beauty right over the top.
Yeah. Right to Santana Moss.
Yeah.
His stats for today's game against the Eagles were 16 for 24, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. You can't ask for much more than a rookie quarterback in a game like that coming off an LCL sprain the week before.
Those aren't his normal numbers, but
normally he's putting up probably around 250 yards and probably around two or three touchdowns per game, whether they're running or passing.
Yeah.
But it's a pain game plan for going against that guy every week. I'd hate to be a defensive coordinator for that fact, trying to game plan for how you're going to attempt to stop that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's beating you with his arm or his legs, you got to pick one to stop, and I guarantee he's going to beat you with the other one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that'll wrap it up for this segment. When we come back, we'll talk about what we're doing for Christmas. We want to know what you're doing for Christmas. Go on Twitter, go on Facebook, post it up.
Do it.
Want to know what you're doing? We'll be back right after this break.